Hey guys, it's my understanding that there are many coaches on YouTube that are big fans of promoting affirmations. I don't know who they are. I don't watch YouTube videos like almost at all. I watch Scott Adams's Real Coffee with Scott Adams frequently. That is the only thing I do on YouTube, literally, other than uploading my own videos. So I don't know who they are, and this is not meant to bash anybody, but, you know, my experience is not the absolute. Keep in mind that this is my opinion and my channel and my advice, and everything else this is all me, and you have to figure out if this, is true for you. But in my experience, and just in my general understanding of how things work from my experience, I don't see any reason why just repeating something over and over would make any difference. If the idea is to reprogram your subconscious mind with that somehow, the subconscious mind doesn't speak English. It speaks in images and feelings. And so to just repeat an affirmation over and over again, if you're not really into what you're saying to yourself experientially, if you're not like sitting there doing it while imagining it or feeling it or, something else, I don't think it really does anything. That being said, I think repeating an affirmation, or in other words that aren't so trendy, reminding yourself of what's true is not only effective, it's necessary if you're trying to change a belief, or, I don't know if I would apply this to getting something. When you get to the point where you want your overall life to be different, and you're beyond the point of trying to manifest, your boyfriend back, or get a car or something like that. When you get to the point where you're more, for whatever reason, whether you have everything or you just get sick of it all, when you get to the point where you're trying to revamp your whole life, where you're trying to then become somebody who is peaceful and blissful and happy all the time and satisfied, that I think leads you down a path one way or another, whether you do it on purpose or whether it just sort of like you're led down a path where you realize you have to change what you believe about everything. You realize how much your beliefs are creating the way you experience your life, if not also creating actual differences in your 3D reality, which is almost certainly the case. So when you decide you want to change a belief, which for me is a process of, figuring out where it came from and recognizing that beliefs are not true, they're just something that you decided to believe, and then deciding what is true, that's my process. That affirmation of that truth becomes very important, but you have to believe it, and you have to do it at the right time. You have to remind yourself of this truth when a situation arises where you would normally feel the false thing that you're trying to get rid of. And that to me is pretty much the only way that they do anything. If you don't feel like you're beautiful, and you go through the process of sort of deconstructing that, however you do that, for me it's more of a rational thing where, I kind of go through everything. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and it's a totally subjective thing, and beauty is often in the way you carry yourself more than your actual facial feature. Just this process of kind of like unscrambling this hard concrete notion about the thing that you believe, like it's a fact or it's the truth. I kind of deconstruct it. But then, in that scenario, you have to remind yourself of that at the moment where the I'm not beautiful feelings are triggered. And when you get to the point where you really believe your affirmation, and you really believe, you've sort of reached that point, that should bring about a tremendous sense of relief when you remind yourself of the truth. You remind yourself that the thing you're experiencing is the illusion, and the thing that you've decided to believe is the truth, or what you're going to install in order to experience your life differently. So, I mean, without that constant reaffirmation of the new truth at the right moment, you won't change that thing. And just affirming it the rest of the time when you're not having the experience of its opposite, is just, for me, it doesn't seem to do anything. So the affirmation of the truth about something is really the only affirmation that you need. And it should be something that you feel, not just something that you repeat mindlessly, endlessly. I mean, there's a lot of broken clock is right twice a day happening in this whole manifestation thing. People have a thought and they see something in their reality almost immediately that mirrors that, like we've all had that thing where we're thinking a thought in our head and then like somebody on the TV says the exact phrase 1 second later. My opinion is that is just a broken clock is right twice a day. You just run into those things. If it was really being created from your mind, then it would just be happening all the time and consistently, not here and there, and you can't figure out why it happened. That's just my opinion. But the same thing with affirmations. You might run into a lot of people saying, oh, affirmation, I affirmed this thing by writing it and repeating it over and over again and listening to a tape repeating it while I was sleeping. I got it, or, I don't know. I just don't. If it's not happening all the time, if you can't take a step 1, 2, 3 and repeat it, and then it happens again, then for me, that's not good enough for me to waste any of my time trying to do it outside of maybe just dabbling for the fun of it. I will link to my other video about affirmations, because I did have a couple of days where I was walking at the gym and repeating stuff over and over to myself while thinking about it. And I had this weird experience of realizing that the things that I were affirming, sorry, my grammar is eluding me there. The things that were being affirmed by me were actually already true. Like at the time I was having a relationship thing, and I was repeating to myself, I am this person's dream woman, because I didn't feel like I was. And then, like, after repeating this and repeating this, I've realized, oh, this is true. I actually am his dream woman. I don't know how to explain that. Maybe I just naturally gravitate towards fixing glitches in my own perception at this point. I don't know, man. This has been on my mind for 2 or 3 decades now. So, anyway, I hope that helps somebody. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to waste a lot of time affirming for something. But, you got to do you, boo. If you feel like it's doing something for you, I don't know, maybe you got something from this video. Don't throw out what you're doing just because somebody online on a video says that you should. But I hope that helps somebody. Have a great day.